Hey beauty babes, welcome to my channel. I am Maria, aka agapelovegirl. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I am finally here to share my IMATS haul. If you missed my video talking about IMATS and didn't know, I did go to IMATS with NBA Cosmetics. As many of you guys already know, I am the social media manager for NBA Cosmetics, so I did get to go to IMATS in New York to help work their booth, but also in addition to that, I was able to still walk around, check out the show and see other booths and stuff like that. And being that I love makeup, I couldn't not purchase a few things, so I did grab a few goodies that I have been really wanting, and I didn't get like a super ton of things, but I do want to go ahead and just hurry up and get into this, so this isn't a crazy long video, but I hope you guys enjoy seeing what I picked up. Now, the first things that I got are from Model in a Bottle. I heard about this like a few years ago, I think from Candy Johnson had talked about Model in a Bottle. It is a setting spray, and she said it was like the best setting spray of life, and I've always wanted to try it but just never found myself ordering it online. So when I was walking around at IMATS, I saw they had a booth and I thought, how cool is that? As with most booths there, they did have a deal going on special for IMATS, but also because I was an exhibitor, meaning that I was working a booth there at the show, they did give me an extra discount too, which that was super sweet. So I'm really excited to try Model in a Bottle setting spray. Then I stopped by the Anastasia Beverly Hills booth, and oh my goodness, it was so cool. Anastasia herself was there and she was taking selfies with everybody, and I thought that was so cool. I kind of wanted to get in on a selfie with her as well, but the line was super long and I didn't want to stay away from the NBA Cosmetics booth too long. In addition to that, I actually left my phone in the booth because we were using it for people to pay with their cards via my phone. So I actually didn't take my phone with me to even take selfies, so I kind of am bummed about that, but either way it was cool just to see her and stop by our booth. Now, I haven't tried any lippies from Anastasia, but I do have several of her eyeshadow palettes and I absolutely love them, so I was dying to try some of her lippies. And I did actually only pick up 2 lip glosses. One is the shade Vintage, which I am wearing on my lips today, and then the other one is the shade Sunset Strip. And Sunset Strip is just a really gorgeous kind of like corally pink shimmery lip gloss like this, and so I'm just excited to try those. I don't know why I wanted to get one of her like matte liquid lipsticks, but it just seemed like none of the ones they had available at the time that I went were any ones that were kind of really calling my name. So that's all I grabbed. But what was really cute was that they included in my purchase this little, like, I don't know, what do you call it, a handkerchief or something? Handkerchief? I don't know. Kind of a thing, do-rag kind of a thing, I don't know. But it has the Anastasia logo all over it. And I thought that was so cute that everybody who made a purchase got that in there with it. So that was cool. Then I stopped by a place, let me see, I have the bag in here. Alcone Professional Makeup Supplies. I don't know, this is the bag for it. Alcone, I guess, which isn't like a makeup brand, but I guess a company that sells a variety of different brands of makeup products and tools and stuff like that. And so there I saw that they were selling the Makeup Bullet, which I did obviously purchase as I'm showing it to you, but I've seen this online as well, and it's something that I have been interested in ever since I've seen it. It's basically like these little finger sponges, and you use them to apply, you know, your makeup or blend it out any, you know, a little bit more precisely. I just think it's so cool because, you know, you could use it, stick it right on your finger or wherever you want, and then use it to blend in your concealer, blend in your whatever you want to use it for just precise application, as well as like a hands-free kind of application. So they were selling in sets of 3 or just one single. I did buy the set of 3 because I just felt like it was a good deal, so that is what I got. And then they also, I was really excited about this, but they were selling the Dollop Beauty cases. This actually doesn't say Dollop Beauty on it. It says Nikki Hynek. I think I'm butchering that. I'm not sure. It's Hynek, which is the creator behind Dollop Beauty. But anyways, so I've been wanting one of these cases for the longest time, but they're so expensive. I think they're like $50 or $55, which it makes sense that they're that expensive. I just haven't bitten the bullet to purchase one. So when I saw them there, I was super excited. They were only $25, which is, I think, a huge savings, I think. So I had to get one. So if you don't if you don't know what this case is, it's basically like a makeup case or a clutch. You could take and use it as a purse, and it opens up like this. And I thought it was really, really cool because it's made for carrying around your makeup. You could also put your phone in here or anything else, your wallet. It's got these little slots here so you could stick in lip glosses, you could stick in your makeup brushes, like if you need to touch up on the go, anything like that that you want to stick in the case. It does have this big mirror here, which I still have the plastic on, but the really, really cool thing about it is that this little thing opens up, and I do have a few things in here. These are some things that I purchased from NBA Cosmetics, but I will get into next. But so this little slot thing opens up here to a magnetic little palette here, so you could actually take some of your single pan only shadows or blushes or whatnot with you on the go as well. So I just think that's so cool. It's really neat and perfect for traveling, if you want to stick it in your big purse, or if you just want to take this alone as your wallet kind of a thing, your kind of clutch. But I just thought it was so cool, and like I said, I've been wanting one for so long. I just love the idea. I think it's so neat. So yeah, I did get that, and that was all I got from that little place, but I might as well go into some of the things. Obviously, since I was working in the NBA Cosmetics booth, I did pick up a few goodies. Actually, I was able to get them just because I was working there, so I did pick up 3 different blushes and then a bronzer, pan only. The bronzer is Cocoa, and then let's see what blushes I got. I got Temptress, Sunset Sensible, that's this one here, and then this one I think is one that I already had, but I didn't have it pan only version. Peach Nectar, which is a favorite blush of mine from NBA Cosmetics, but I wanted the pan only option since I've been doing a lot of things pan only to put in palettes. In addition to that, I did also, NBA Cosmetics the owner Sherry did have some palettes available there, which she had there before they were on the site. They are on the website now, and if anybody's curious about any of the things that I mentioned from NBA Cosmetics, I do have a 15% off discount code. That is agapelovegirl15. All caps will save you, like I said, 15% on the website anytime, every time you make a purchase, even during sales. So anyways, these are on the website now, but they weren't at the time when I got it. So they're these palettes that are 12 pan palettes, and I decided to just put some of the shadows I already had, made kind of myself a rainbow palette. These are all NBA Cosmetics shadows that I already had on hand, but just stuck in this palette that I got there at IMATS. But look how pretty it is in a rainbow. So I grabbed that palette, and then let's see, and then I grabbed a lot of pressed glitters. Now the pressed glitters at the NBA booth were on fire. They sold so quickly, so I'm surprised I was even able to get my hands on as many as I did. Some of these I already did have previously, but several of these are new that I got at IMATS. So NBA Cosmetics, as you guys know, does do pressed glitters. Now I know, or maybe you may or may not be familiar with all the drama going around about pressed glitters and glitter injections and stuff like that. These are very, very different from her formula. I'm not putting her down at all. I'm a fan of glitter injections, but if you're worried about the drama and stuff like that, these are very, very different. They're not a wet formula. They're basically just a pressed glitter. There is a binder in them. There is a preservative in them, but it's basically just glitter in a pressed form that makes it easy and convenient to travel with or take with you. The binder in it does make them a little bit kind of sticky to help them adhere to your skin, very prettily and very nicely. But I would also recommend using an adhesive. I actually am wearing one of the pressed glitters on my eyes today in the shade Flight of the Pegasus. And so yeah, I grabbed several new shades of the pressed glitters. And let's see, what else did I? Oh, I also got a liquid liner from NBA Cosmetics, and then 2 new shades of their liquid matte lipsticks. I got the shade Rosette and the shade Shady. So I don't know if you can see those colors very well, but I did pick up those while I was there. Let's see what else. Oh, right across from the NBA Cosmetics booth was the Karity booth, and some of you may or may not be familiar with that brand. It is a very, very new brand, and they're what I've known them for or found them for is being MAC dupes, and so I think because they were such a fairly new brand, they didn't have like a ton of traffic to their booth, so I kept eyeing their booth from our booth and kept thinking I want to go over and check out their stuff because I've heard things about them online and was curious to check them out. So the very last day of IMATS, I went over to their booth and saw that they had their palettes marked down to only $12. I thought that was so cool, so I did pick up 2 of their palettes, their matte palette. I am actually wearing that on my eyes today. I will have a tutorial of this look up soon if you're curious, but I did use this palette today, like I said. This is the matte one. Then I got the smoky one, which looks very, very similar. And then they also had a shimmer or frost palette, but I wasn't as interested in that one as I was these ones. They also had some single shadows available, but I didn't grab any of those either just because I didn't see any of the single shadows that I was as interested in as just kind of getting the palette and seeing what I thought a variety. Though I'm kind of thinking that I bet the single shadows are probably maybe a little bit better quality than the palettes. I'm not quite sure, but I would imagine that seems to be how it goes with a lot of brands. Anyways, then I did pick up their contour palette. I don't need a new contour palette, I totally don't, but I just thought I'd grab it just to try it and check it out, because when I was there I swatched these and they just felt so buttery and smooth and gorgeous. I don't know, they just felt so good, so I was like, and they were all marked down, you know, just $12, so I was like, why not get it, try out this brand that's brand new. I need a towel to wipe my hand on now. So anyways, I thought, why not try this brand that's new and give it a shot, see what I think. So yeah, I did. I got the contour palette, and then the contour palette also actually came with this, which I thought was really cool, and how to contour all the different face shapes. So I thought that was kind of cool of them to include, because I know not everybody who buys contour palettes knows exactly everything about contouring, so that's pretty helpful. And what was really cool was that I actually did purchase 2 other contour palettes for and then another eyeshadow palette because they were so cheap to get as gifts for my sisters. So yeah, I ended up spending, I think, like, I don't know, $72 there, and I got, I don't know, like 6 or 7 palettes in total. So I thought that was really, really cool. Alright, so the next thing I got, actually I'm pretty excited about. I stopped at the Sugar Pill booth, and I only got 2 things. And I bought these on the last day too, because I'd walked by their booth the first day and was so tempted, but I was just like, oh, I don't know if I want to spend the money or anything yet because the prices are pretty expensive. But the last day I was like, you know what, why not? I hadn't bought a ton of things yet and really wanted to try. I mean, look at this. How cute is this? This is their lipstick, Pretty Poison Sugar Pill lipstick in the shade Girl Crush. It's a matte pink lipstick. Look at it. So pretty. Oh my gosh. And it was the packaging really that got me. I kept looking because they only had 2 shades available, this bright pink one and the red one. Then on the 3rd day when I went back, the red one was gone. And the reason why I was like thinking, I was like, I have so many colors that are so similar to a red and a bright pink, so I was like, do I really want it just for the packaging? And the last day I was like, yes, I really want it for the packaging. Plus I don't have anything from Sugar Pill, and they're such a cute brand that I really wanted to pick it up and see what I thought of the brand. I also got this pair of lashes from Sugar Pill, and this is, let's see, does this have a name? Oh, Sweet Kisses, and they're just purple and pink lashes, which I just thought would be really fun and cute. Let's see, what else did I get? Oh, I made a purchase from Crimes of Beauty. Now this is a clothing kind of a beauty, oops, let's see, Find Yourself Guilty. Crimes of Beauty. Yeah, it's just kind of more like a makeup inspired clothing shop brand, whatever you want to say. And I purchased 2 shirts from them. They also had a deal. It was like 2 for something, and I think I got an extra deal because I was an exhibitor. Like I said, some of the booths had like extra deals for those people who were also working at IMATS, so I thought that was really cool. But I got this shirt. I got the size large, and I feel like I probably could have gotten a medium, but I always size up just in case. You never know. So this is the shirt I got. It says all about that glam life. And then the other one I got is so funny. I told my husband I got this, and he just looked at me, he's like, it's so true. But this one says, I like makeup more than people. And yeah, sometimes that is just the truth. Yeah, it might seem kind of mean. Some of them were a little bit more meaner than that, I guess you would say, but yeah, I just thought these were super cute. I always love makeup inspired clothing and stuff like that, so I just thought that was a fun brand. And I actually never heard of Crimes of Beauty before, so it was kind of cool just to discover new brands and new companies at IMATS. So yeah, then I think this is it. I think this might be the last thing I got. I didn't get a ton of stuff, but I did, like I said, pick up stuff for my sisters, and then I did get a few other things for my swap with Tiffany, so I'm not showing those things, of course. So the last thing I got was from Swirl Sparkle, who was actually there with us in the NBA Cosmetics booth. Mary, you guys probably, if you follow me on Instagram, saw all the pictures and everything, but of course had to pick up some Swirl Sparkle, and if you guys don't know, Swirl Sparkle is a brush cleaner, a brush solid, and Mary makes the cutest designs in these makeup brush cleansers. So I got this heart design. Oh, it smells so good. I think this is like the toasted marshmallow scent, and it's so, so pretty. And then I also got, I forgot already what other design I got. Oh, this one's a lip print. I don't know if you can really see. It has a little bit of glitter in it. So, so pretty. It's a lip print. And this one, what's the scent? Passion Melon, yes. So, so good. And then she's so sweet. She did load me up on several samples in here of just the little guys here. So I thought that was really sweet. Mary was so, so sweet. It was so cool to meet her. My experience at IMATS was just, it was amazing. I truly hope that I'll be able to go back again someday. I did mention this a few times on my YouTube channel prior to leaving for IMATS, and even like when I first found out I was going to be going to IMATS, that I was super, super nervous. As most of you guys know, I do live in California, and I went to IMATS in New York, so obviously flying all the way across country was just like a super scary thing for me, especially because I don't travel very often. I mean, I haven't really ever traveled or flown a ton. I think I've flown like twice in my whole life. And both of those times were like, I think from Washington to California, and then from California back to Washington when I used to live in Washington with my husband, or when my husband was in the military. And then so I flew to visit family in California. But anyways, yeah, and then traveling by like vehicle, the farthest I've gone like in the United States, I believe is in Arizona. That's like the farthest I've been. And I really don't go anywhere without my husband. I don't travel by myself. I'm actually very, very like, just a very nervous person when it comes to that kind of stuff, about driving by myself or driving and being in big cities and big towns. And it's funny because I felt like I'm in such a small town. I feel like I live in such a small town, but I was talking to Sherry, the owner of NBA Cosmetics, and she said her town is so small she literally only has one stoplight. And I was like, okay, I guess my town isn't that small, but the town I live in, Red Bluff, is, to me, seems small just because it's more of a country town. It's not really a small town. If you think about it in the grand scheme of things, it's a pretty big town, but I think because it's such a country cow farm town that it just feels small and just quaint. Like there's not a ton of people, there's not a ton of traffic, there's lots of open country and space and stuff like that, so it just feels small in comparison to like a big city of like New York and stuff like that. So it just seemed very nerve-wracking for me to be traveling and all that kind of stuff. So I was scared to death about the flight. I'm scared of heights, but it might seem silly, but I just had a lot of people, you know, family and my friends praying for me about my trip, about my traveling and everything like that, and I really felt such a calmness once I actually got on the plane, and you know, I wasn't freaked out. And that might sound silly because I'm an adult and stuff like that, but I remember the very first time I went on a plane, I actually cried. I mean, I cried as an adult flying on a plane because I was by myself. And I remember being so terrified and so scared that I started crying. I wasn't like bawling or being hysterically dramatic or anything, but I was, you know, nervous and I was getting all teary-eyed and had tears drooping down my face. And I remember looking over trying to, like, you know, wipe the tears, and there was this little girl staring at me from across the aisle. And I just felt, for one, like a jerk because I was like, I'm this adult crying and I hope I didn't freak her out. And then two, I felt like such a baby because I'm like, this little girl is just fine on the plane and here I am crying about traveling. But anyway, so yeah, like I said, the whole traveling thing was just very nerve-wracking for me, but it ended up being so amazing. Once I got in the sky, my seat was a window seat, so I got to look out which I thought might be scary, but for me actually was very calming. It was calming to look out the window and see us lift off, see the ground above, the ground below. I see the clouds and just look so beautiful and majestic and just amazing, and there's just such a calm over me, and I know it was thanks to, you know, so many people praying for me and stuff like that. But anyways, that's a big long spiel about my traveling woes but and concerns. But aside from that, my trip to New York was pretty great and very overwhelming. New York is so different from where I live. Now some people might think that I might be used to big city life, because when you think of California, a lot of people think of like places like San Francisco in LA, but I'm literally like 12 hours from LA, and I'm about 3.5 hours from San Francisco, so I'm really far away from like the big cities and stuff like that. So I'm not used to that kind of thing. So New York was very different for me. It was a very strange experience to be in such a crowded area with so many people and so many buildings and so many things going on, and like the traffic alone and riding in a taxi cab was crazy. I was scared for my life. At a couple points it was just like I was like holding on like, oh my goodness, we're gonna get in a car accident, and we somehow never did. I'm assuming New York people are just very used to that's the way they drive and stuff like that. So that was a very interesting experience. But very cool. I got to see, like, I went to Times Square, I went to Rockefeller Center, I think, is that what it's called? Or Madison, no, I keep getting things mixed up. I don't know. I went to, you know, a lot of the typical places you would go to see in New York. If you want a little recap, if you haven't seen already, I did put up like a video montage of my trip where I did take photos of the places I went and little video clips here and there of IMATS and of New York and stuff like that of my trip. And I'll leave that in the description box if you want to check it out, kind of like a little montage of my trip. But in that video I did mention I talk a little bit more about my trip and stuff like that, so that's kind of what I'm doing. Let's see. So, as far as IMATS itself, IMATS was pretty cool. It was very exciting. I got to meet Sherry for the first time ever. Actually, I've been working for NBA Cosmetics for, I think officially like working as being employed by them for 4 years, but I've used NBA Cosmetics for like 5 or 6 years. Like, I love the brand. And Sherry and I talk pretty much daily online. We've texted, we've called, we talk through Facebook and stuff like that and communicate daily, but I had never actually met her in person. So this is my first time meeting her in person, so that was really neat to meet her in person and actually be in the booth working the products and meeting a ton of people, and then being able to just talk to people about the products and sell them, and it was really cool to me. I know it might seem silly, but every day obviously I wore NBA Cosmetics products, and just it was really cool that every day people would come up to me like, oh, your makeup looks so good, what are you wearing, you know, and wanting to buy what I was wearing. So I could say, oh, I'm wearing this today, and then they would buy it, and it was just a really cool and felt really nice, and that was really cool. It was really cool to meet so many people. I got to meet Jen of Jen Loves Reviews here on YouTube, Linda from Glitter Fallout, a few other Instagram beauty accounts, people that I followed online or on YouTube and stuff like that, and finally got to meet them in person. So that was a really neat experience for me. Very exciting. It's one thing to be following someone online and talk to them online or, you know, through text and stuff like that, but to actually meet people in person and see them and hang out with them was just a really fun, cool experience. So yeah, I feel like I'm gonna kind of ramble on and say the same kind of things over and over again, and I don't want to do that. So yeah, that was kind of just a recap of my experience at IMATS. It was so much fun. I do hope that I get to go again next year. It would be really great to be able to go again next year. The only thing I could say that I'm bummed about is that there were a few people there that I would have loved to meet that I actually didn't realize were there or gonna be there, like Melissa Altore, I believe that's her name. I love her and I love her channel and she's so beautiful. I didn't know she was going to be there, but I saw after I got home that she was there, and I was like, oh man, I would have loved to meet her. I also saw that Jordan Liberty was there. When I was actually walking around checking out the rest of the booths at IMATS, I saw Jordan Liberty up on one of the stages teaching a class, and I thought, oh my god, that's so cool, I hope I get to meet him, and I didn't get to meet him. But I also saw Alex Faction walking around, and I probably could have met him if I wanted to, but I was just a little bit too nervous and shy to kind of be like, hey Alex, you know, and get him to come over and say say hi. I mean, I'm sure he probably would have been super nice about it, but I just kind of got like intimidated to like say something to him. So yeah, that would be the only thing I regret, is not like meeting more people. I think it would have been really, really cool to do that, but there is hopefully always the next year. And so I'm really, really thrilled about my experience so far, and so glad that I went. It was just a really, really neat experience. So anyways, with all that being said, I'm going to quit rambling now. I hope you guys enjoyed my IMATS haul and hearing a little bit about my experience. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, much love and hugs to you. Bye, babes. So I decided to grab it. They did have like a deal. It was like, oh my God.